The Roundhouse has been part of my life since some of my earliest memories have been about the Roundhouse. I grew up in this area, and I actually lived on Haverstock Hill, which is a little bit further up, and I had to walk to Primrose Hill School every day, and so I'd always walk past the Roundhouse. So it would have been like 1970, and it was just obviously such a kind of iconic visual place. And as a kid, I was just fascinated with it. Like, why is it round? Why was it there? And I explained to by my parents that it was because of the trains having to turn around. And I kind of, as I grew up, grew up with the Roundhouse because my father actually worked here and put on a concert of Jimi Hendrix played here. So he was involved in putting on Jimi Hendrix, and he used to run these community groups on the weekends. He had a lot of Caribbean friends, so they used to have these Saturdays and Sundays, these kind of open days, and everyone would do limbo dancing and drink punch, and it was really, really community based. The local school, Primrose Hill Primary, we did a lot of things here. And then there was the time when the Roundhouse was under threat, and there was all this kind of all these rumours that the Roundhouse was gonna be shut down, demolished. For me it was just so upsetting because had so many wonderful moments here and times, so I was always quite shocked. And then it was great when, I don't know how long it actually closed down for, if it did, or there's a period where it wasn't actually functioning, but they had to raise lots of money anyway. And then in the 80s, I remember coming back to having some concerts here and stuff. And, because it's been such in my heart, the whole of my life, I really wanted to get involved, especially being a local, with the fundraising side. It's been great kind of getting to know all about the other side of the Roundhouse, all the community service, and, helping kids that don't have the opportunity to go and rehearse or learn to DJ or present or have circus skills. So there's so many different levels to what are going on here, and so many people don't know about the other side. So you get to see these wonderful bands here, and even sometimes I don't think they know. And it's like, for me, it's part of the kind of education of letting them know that there's this other side you can put back in. So I've kind of tried to rally around and get people involved, and locals and younger people, to kind of say, we should all support the Roundhouse and all the kind of charity aspects. You get these wonderful creatives all coming together, and you feel it's quite nice because you feel like, I'm part of something that is quite real. In a time when there's so much other sides of things going on, and slightly shallower things, and people really kind of value this. So for me, it's a very important part of me being an artist and somebody that's creative is being involved in something like this, and you get to see wonderful shows. So I had the opportunity to perform with Fuerzabruta, and I've seen their shows over the years. I was fanatical about coming and watching their shows. So I'd love to be able to get the opportunity to dance with the girls, especially where they in the water, where they come down and there's these two fish tanks, and I kind of trained with them for a week or so and learnt the routine, and oh my God, it was just wonderful. I had 20 to 40 of my friends underneath the fish tank when it came down, my children, or my mum, and everyone looking up, and the adrenaline. You're up high, you're doing this kind of crazy dancing, you're kind of like these wild banshees, witches, whatever, and you're underwater, so you're holding your breath. The adrenaline was through the roof. It was such a strong thing because there's hundreds and hundreds of people there, and the noise and the whistles and the people and the faces, and you're just like kind of looking down on them like this kind of really weird, you feel like this odd creature. But the rehearsals, and you kind of get the whole experience. It's nice to have something that's so consistent, because sometimes you can be involved with things like, I've been involved in a lot of other charities, and you kind of you come you come and go with them, whereas this has been something, it's been 5 years I guess with the ambassador work, but just as a place that you always go to and support. I think being a Primrose Hill person who lived here all my life, it's been here and kind of served me. So I guess if you live near Sadler's Wells, that might be the kind of place. But I don't want to miss anything that's here, because it's just it's like my neighbourhood. A lot of things change. A lot of things are in London are changing, and the thing with the Roundhouse, it physically can't change. There's certain things behind stage in the back that have had add-ons and stuff, but the building is listed, and there's been certain things that have changed obviously in the inside and the structural stuff inside, but iconically on the outside it will always, there's I don't think for me anything visually building wise stronger. But living on Haverstock Hill, my dad was one of the first people that painted Primrose Hill Bridge just behind this. Being a kid, especially in the 70s, you'd be walking around on your own at 6 and 7, going to Marine Ices across the road, had the canal, walking along the canal, and you got the trains, and it's just such a kind of, I guess for every child walking to school, spring, summer, autumn, winter, it's such a seasonal thing, and that was always here, so it would be something that I was walked past every day. I think that the whole thing with my dad putting on the Jimi Hendrix thing, and they made the poster. He was an artist working with another artist called Martin Sharp, and some of the posters are upstairs. So it's kind of an odd thing. For me it was important actually coming back and helping, because it was a part of what my dad's legacy, coming and putting things on here. So it's nice to be in the same place that he was. I think a lot of people that come and play here obviously respect the building, and it's got so much integrity. But I think it'd be really nice to get people to, and people are doing it more and more, is put more back in. For me, I don't understand when people, and they have huge power and obviously huge talent. They've got amazing careers, and everyone puts back in. But I think with a building like this, it deserves, not to be struggling. So I think for people, like people to be more aware, put back in, more kind of money raised to help people that should have the opportunities that don't. It's great having music going on here. I think it's wonderful when there's more installations and stuff. So, there's been times when you had like a massive inflatable in here, and you could just bring all the community thing of having coming with your baby, and and you come with your grandparents, and they'd have an inflatable, and you'd all be bouncing around. And I think the more kind of diverse things, it doesn't have to just be bands. I think it's like things that you can visit in the days, on the weekends, like when they have art exhibitions and stuff. I love all that. I guess obviously there have to be things that make money, but I think it should be that whatever happens here, people have to put a bit more of a percentage back in, just to keep things running smoothly. So the Roundhouse has given me some amazing memories, and I hope it's part of my life. It's weird. It's like it's 50th birthday, and I'm a little kind of 50, so it's like we're the same age. What's been going on here, and it's been a huge part of my life, and now my children. I've got 3 of my kids are involved in music. My sons come and rehearse here. It's so difficult, even in the world that they live in, is to kind of organise rehearsal rooms. They're so expensive. The fact they can they have the support, they can just call up and then, pay, a reasonable amount of money to come and rehearse, and people teach them how to do it. And then my son was doing DJ lessons here. He's now doing really well with his DJing. In fact, my eldest son headlined the iTunes Festival DJing 3 nights last week. So, the Roundhouse just helps so many people in so many different capacities. So, I'm a huge fan.